Hello and welcome to today's show. I'm your able host, Molo Collins, and of course, this is Sporting TV, your number one leading sports channel. And on today's show, we are going to focus our attention in the London derby, pitting two of the greatest sides in the English Premier League in London. That is Arsenal against Chelsea, a match which will be played in the Emirates Stadium. This is the home turf of Arsenal. So far in the English Premier League, we see that Liverpool is perched at the summit of the English Premier League log, having so far amassed 70 points, leading that log, and of course it's followed closely by Arsenal, which so far has managed to garner 55 points. Chelsea, on the other hand, which is supposed to meet Arsenal, is in that fifth spot in the English Premier League log. Well, it's going to be a battle between two of the greatest teams in London to see who is going to be the king, whether London is going to be painted red or London is going to be painted blue. Mikel Arteta against Maresca. Well, before we move on with the show, kindly remember to view, like, subscribe and share, and you can also drop a comment on the comment section down below. Let's get interactive across all social media platforms, and on Facebook I'm at Molo Collins. Drop those views and thoughts and I'll be sure to sample some of them on our next show when we do meet. Well, let's get down to it. Arsenal against Chelsea. Which team is going to win this crucial match? Of course, Arsenal will be taking this match with a lot of interest because the match that they sleep, remember that Liverpool keeps on improving that gap at the summit of the English Premier League. Well, let's go and look at the matches. So far, Arsenal has managed to play a total of 29 matches, winning 15, drawing 10, losing a paltry 3, and so far they've managed to garner 55 points, which give them that second spot position on the log. Chelsea, on the other hand, which is on 5th position so far, has managed to play 28 matches, winning 14, drawing 7, losing 7, and so far they've managed to amass 49 points. Remember that Arsenal has played one match more than Chelsea, 29 and 28. So it's going to be a very interesting match to see how things are going to unfold at Emirates Stadium, pitting the Spaniard Mikel Arteta against Maresca. Remember that Maresca is just joining Chelsea from Leicester City, taking over the reins at Stamford Bridge from Mauricio Pochettino, who left at the end of last season. So expect a battle between these two teams. Which team is going to come out victor and get the maximum of 3 points, or maybe the match is going to end in a stalemate. Remember that Mikel Arteta is a fan favorite of the system 4-3-3, which has 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and of course 3 attackers. And Chelsea, on the other side, has been using a system of 4-5-1 kind of system, which is rather defensive compared to the system that Arsenal is currently adopting this season. So expect end-to-end kind of match, a very high pacey match, high octane match, and remember, tackles will be flying. And of course, the team which is going to settle fast in this crucial fixture, I think, is going to be the team that will have a bigger share of the position, of especially in the middle of the park, and it's going to be a battle in that midfield, and we're going to see the likes of Caicedo going against the likes of course, Declan Rice, and of course the likes of Enzo Fernandez, of course, against the likes of Partey. It's going to be a very tough match between these two teams. Remember that in the first leg, it managed to end in a stalemate, and Arsenal managed to draw 1-1 against Chelsea, and in that match it was Neto Pedro who gave Chelsea the lead because before Martinelli level matters for Arsenal, which managed to put the match on a level pedestal in a 1-1 draw. Well, let's go and look at the players to watch for both teams. And for Arsenal, of course, there's the skipper Martin Odegaard, who has had a very decent season in terms of assist and goal return for Arsenal, and there's also Trossard, and there's also Martinelli, who is making a comeback into this Arsenal first 11. Remember that Arteta now at the moment is in a dilemma because the likes of Martinelli are making a comeback, and it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to stick with his guns and also try to use the 17-year-old Nwaneri, or is going to recall the services of Martinelli back into that Arsenal setup. Well, on the Chelsea side, the players to watch, as so far we have Cole Palmer, who is so far had a decent season for Chelsea compared to last season. This season he has had a very good season, but last season I think that was the best season that he has had in that Chelsea shirt. And of course there is Jadon Sancho, who is on loan from Manchester United, and there is Enzo Fernandez, of course, in that Chelsea defensive midfield, and there's also Pedro Neto, who has just joined Chelsea from Wolverhampton. So it's going to be a very interesting match between these two teams, because both of them have been plagued by injuries so far, and key players are missing for both sides. Remember that Arsenal Bukayo Saka is missing. Kai Havertz, who was once their top scorer, is also missing. Gabriel Jesus also has been ruled out for the rest of the season. And Chelsea, on the other hand, they are missing Nicholas Jackson. This has been Chelsea top scorer before he got injured. There's also Noni Madueke, and there's also Malo Gusto, the fullback for Chelsea. So these teams are going to have a very difficult match compared to what happened in the first leg of the English Premier League. And if we go by stats, we see that Arsenal has had a bigger chunk of the win, a lion's share of the wins when these two teams have managed to meet. Arsenal so far having won 83 matches, and Chelsea on the other hand have won 66 matches, and the match has ended on a stalemate 61 times. Well, let's go and look at the chances creation, and we see going by the formation and the type of football, the brand of football that these both teams adapt. We see that Arsenal play short passes, trying to create those passes to their forwards, of course with the likes of Trossard and of course Martinelli, who may get the nod to start in this match when they meet Chelsea. Chelsea, on the other hand, is a team that play a very compact game, counter-attack kind of football, and maybe they may try to bypass that Arsenal midfield by playing those long passes to their forward, with the likes of Nkuku trying to open up that Arsenal defense, which is normally marshaled by William Saliba and of course Magalhaes, the Brazilian. Well, expect a tough match, as I've just mentioned, because this is a match that is going to determine the fate of the English Premier League so far, where the English Premier League is going to be won. And if Arsenal manage to drop more points, I think that Liverpool will only need like maybe 5 matches to be crowned the English Premier League champion. So I think that Arteta is not going to let this to go easy, and I think that is likely to try and make the English Premier League go to the wire, and maybe it may be decided in the last days of the English Premier League, going by the history of what has transpired over the years in that league. Well, Mikel Arteta meeting Maresca, this will be the very second time, and tactics may apply here. So far, Maresca has done a very decent job since joining, of course, Chelsea from, of course, Leicester City. 2 different types of football, 2 brand of football from each manager, and one is going to try and outshine one another rather, and try to get the maximum of 3 points in this match. So according to my prediction, I think this is a match that is going to have over 2 goals compared with the what happened in the English Premier League, Champions League rather, and what happened in the Conference League. We saw that Arsenal managed to eliminate PSV in the first leg. Arsenal had a very huge win when they managed to win by 7-0, and just the other day they were held by 2 draw by PSV after Arsenal taking a 2-goal lead. And of course Chelsea, on the other hand, they also managed to win their Conference League match, and that gave them the ticket, of course, to the conference quarterfinals. And Arsenal has also made it to the Champions League quarterfinals, where they'll be meeting Real Madrid. So I don't think if Mikel Arteta has really given up on the English Premier League, and if he has, maybe is going to try and rest some players as they wait for the clash to face Real Madrid. So expect fireworks, expect end-to-end kind of matches, expect high-octane kind of matches, very pacey match with a lot of temper flaring all over the pitch. And I think that the midfielders are going to cover every blade of the pitch, trying to win those 50-50 balls and trying to try to get those quick starts to their forwards, and maybe one of the sides may try to outrun one another in that midfield, maybe try to overload one side of the pitch, and when the other side of the pitch is not really occupied, then the balls are going to be spread to those spaces. The tiki-taka kind of football against counter-attack kind of football. But Chelsea's system, I think, is rather defensive compared to Arsenal, which over the years has been known to play that open kind of football, not so defensive. But Arteta, as I mentioned earlier, is in a dilemma because at the moment he doesn't have out-and-out striker, and so far Merino has been feeling that space because he's missing Jesus, he's missing Kai Havertz, and of course he's missing Bukayo Saka. So this may be a blessing in disguise of course Maresca having not to deal with the out-and-out striker, and maybe as we saw in the match against Manchester United that was played just recently, we saw that Merino didn't have so many chances in that front Manchester United goal, and I think if Maresca is going to apply the same tactics, then I think that Arsenal is going to be in trouble. So let's wait and see which team is going to carry the day between these two great London sides. Is the city going to be painted red or blue? Is London going to be painted red or blue in favor of Arsenal and or maybe in favor of Chelsea? Well, we only have time to tell which team is going to win this crucial match. As for me and the rest of my crew, let's do this again next time. Keep on supporting on all social media platforms and keep on commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing, and I'll be sure to sample some of your views and thoughts on my next show. Let's do this again next time.